Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new edition of Africa Today, where we get you the latest news taking place on the African scene. And our main topic today will be the tripartite meeting held in Khartoum to discuss the Grand Renaissance Dam issue. And it's attended by ministers of irrigation and ministers of foreign affairs of the three countries, Sudan, Ethiopia and Egypt. But we'll first have a look at this report and we'll be back. UN envoy Martin Kobler said on Sunday his team is in contact with security officials in Tripoli to ensure that Libya's new unity government can operate safely from the capital. More details in the following report.
The UN Security Council gave its backing to the new national unity government in embattled Libya, a move it hopes will help stem mass migration to Europe and reverse gains made by militants from the Daesh group. The 15-nation council gave its support to the deal signed last week in the Moroccan town of Shikrit between representatives of strife-torn Libya's two competing regimes. The United Nations envoy to Libya, Martin Kobler, is now working on arrangements to allow the unity government to safely set up shop in Tripoli, which is under the control of militia fighters. Libya has been in chaos since the 2011 uprising that toppled dictator Muammar al-Qaddafi, with armed factions battling for territory and control of its oil wealth. Its internationally recognized government was expelled from Tripoli in August 2014 and is based in the east of the country, while another body holds the capital. Around 80 of 188 lawmakers from Libya's internationally recognized parliament and 50 of 136 members of the rival Tripoli-based General National Congress signed the deal. The agreement calls for the 17-member government, headed by businessman Fayez El-Sarraj as premier, based in the Libyan capital. A presidential council would also serve for a transitional period of 2 years until elections.
Welcome back, and moving on to Central Africa. Long delayed elections in volatile Central African Republic that are key to ending years of brutal sectarian unrest were postponed Friday for 3 days until December 30. Details follow.
Long delayed elections in violent Central African Republic that were initially due this weekend has been postponed for 3 days until December the 30th. The postponement was due to problems sending ballot papers to election centers outside the capital, Bangui, a reflection of the difficulties the poor country faces as it struggles to return to peace and normality. It added that the election campaign, with 30 candidates vying for president, has also been extended to midnight Monday, December 28th. The authorities of the transitional government has proposed on Thursday to delay the elections to next week. Normally, the consultant court would need to approve changing the voting from Sunday, but given the holiday period, doesn't plan to meet. A decree from the country's transitional president is expected soon to officially confirm the new election date. The long-awaited elections are aimed at turning the page on the sectarian conflict that erupted after a mainly Muslim rebellion overthrew long-time Christian leader Francois Bouzizi in 2013.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're glad to be joined today at the studio with Mr. Mohamed Abdel Ghaffar, President, African Council. Thank you, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you very much for you.
Sir, we've of course seen a number of meetings for the Grand Renaissance Dam being postponed, and of course a large number being held regarding the talks regarding the Ethiopian dam between Egypt, Ethiopia and Khartoum or Sudan. But we haven't seen any solid solution or concrete solution, or we haven't seen that the three countries have reached a middle ground on the issue of the Grand Renaissance Dam. So how do you see this?
I can see that the main leaders of the three countries, the three presidents before they signed the treaty of Khartoum Treaty, which put like code of ethics to organize the efforts between the experts and the Minister of Irrigations in the three countries, and they guarantee the inherited rights for the Sudan and Egypt, and they also put that treaty under the UN Treaty for water distribution all over the world in 1997. But up till now, the partner, the Ethiopian partner, try to take a lot of details, and they keep going on more details, but they didn't approve assigning the two offices. Mm-hmm. We need the two offices as a part of the 10 experts and the ministers committee. They criticized that the consultancy offices, they are the only part who's going to define the spillage of the water from the Renaissance Dam. Mm-hmm. So we deeply attached to that, especially after a scientific report came during this week from Sudan, talking about a huge threat from the Renaissance Dam on Sudan. Mm-hmm. And that only for about 3 days ago.
A huge threat on Sudan?
On Sudan and Egypt as well. Yeah,
right.
Not only Sudan.
Please explain more. This is a very important issue, of course.
They say they managed to get a study under the hand of the Ethiopian government. It's talking about a drought going to happen on Sudan.
Mm-hmm. A drought in
yes,
Sudan? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it means no water comes to Egypt. Mm-hmm. And this is really serious. And the Egyptian negotiator keep asking the Ethiopian partner, please show us all the studies you have. And they keep saying, we don't have any more studies. Mm-hmm. And it is not logic. You are going through a huge project like this. It cost about, until now, the cost goes up to $8 billion, and they still don't have studies. They didn't estimate the risk of that a huge project in the area.
Of course, this is a national security issue. How do you see the Egyptian government, the steps taken by the Egyptian government towards the Grand Renaissance Dam?
It is not only a security issue, it's also a matter of life or death, mm-hmm. as Mr. Minister Sameh Shoukry described that. Mm-hmm. Also, there is a lot of environmental impact in all over the area, not only between the three countries. It's going to change the eco in the eastern coast of the African continent. Mm-hmm. As well, the income or they are going to produce a power, but the amount of power production, the electricity production, it is very low comparing with such huge dam. So it is not the main reason to get income or like economical source, a new economical source, mm-hmm. for Ethiopia, which one of the poorest countries in all over the world. There must be a cooperation to magnify the economical income, mm-hmm. on Ethiopia. We are really consider that, and the Egyptian side trying to help a lot even during the demonstrations. We didn't take a side of any of them, but I think there must be a serious development plan in Ethiopia to try to put like equality measures for the resources distribution between the nationalities there.
Right. Before the meeting began, Ethiopia announced the diversion of the Blue Nile's course to run through the dam after construction of the 4 water inlets was completed. How do you view this step and its effect on downstream countries?
Actually, they put the water to the natural stream. They have changed the stream just for the construction procedures, but now it came back to the natural stream. And they try to give a guarantee. There are two tunnels under the dam, under the Renaissance Dam, going to keep the water, split the water flow to the other countries, to Egypt and Sudan, through the Blue Nile. But it like consisting a new legal situation. In case of they are keeping this water behind the dam, and we didn't get our share from the water, it is like a new legal situation gives the right to Egypt to send this to the United Nations.
Right. And now the tripartite meeting started yesterday for the 3 countries. How far do you see the flow of the negotiations so far?
Since the last session, the triple session between the 3 countries, it was not really pessimistic results last time, and even we heard some of the ministers of foreign affairs, they quit the meeting. But what we found today, the 3 of them...
Egyptian Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry quitted at the beginning.
He announced that at the beginning.
Meeting.
Yeah. But
then some changes occurred.
Yeah,
he's attending the meeting actually.
Yeah, but he trying to keep the negotiation going on the right track. That's why he attended the meeting, and the other 2 ministers, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Sudan and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia, they also attended the meeting. And I heard that Ethiopia trying to keep the negotiation not under media coverage. They would like to keep it quiet at the time being to achieve more results.
Right. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry met with the Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir before the start of this meeting, carrying a message from President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi regarding mutual strategic cooperation, as well as Egypt's commitment towards the Sudanese government. How do you view this message?
I can estimate this message as a trial. President Sisi trying to put alternatives to our partners, either the Sudanese partner or the Ethiopian partner, and he is suggesting a lot of cooperation opportunities. And you know, we encourage the Egyptian investment to work on development in Ethiopia, and the higher investor at the time being in Ethiopia is the Egyptian investor. The Egyptian working capital there, it goes up to $30 billion since 1987 up till 2015.
Right. Now, Egypt expressed concern or reservations about Ethiopia continuing in the construction of the dam. Meanwhile, they didn't reach a middle ground regarding this situation. How do you see this?
We are trying by all
Now they reach
ways.
around 50 or 55% of the construction has been completed.
Yes, yeah. We are trying by all means, especially the friendly ways of negotiation between Egypt and Ethiopia, to convince them to consider the harm and threats going to put like burdens on the two countries, the Sudan and the Egyptian people. Until now, the response from the Ethiopian side, it's not really considerable. But
we don't see any concrete response, or we don't see
Not
that
yet.
the three countries is reaching any middle ground on the effects or the negative effects of the dam on downstream countries.
I think Ethiopian side, they don't take it by the same way. They take it as a sovereign decision for the government there, and they just want to build that dam. But they don't consider the harms goes to other countries.
What if the consultancy firm's reports shows that the dam would have negative effects on downstream countries? And Ethiopia mentioned previously that the results of the reports will not be binding to Ethiopia. Then what will be the way out of this crisis?
No, I can see that Khartoum Treaty in March 2015, it's binding because they have put that treaty under the UN Treaty 1997. So it's binding to the Ethiopian government. The treaty before, or the report between the experts, the Ethiopian, Egyptian, Sudanese experts, and the world experts, they attended a 10 expert committee, and after that the two presidents, the President Sisi and the Prime Minister Haile Mariam, they signed that treaty together, which putting as a base the report, the consultancy reports come, which going to organize all the water splitting or distribution between the countries, the three countries.
Right, Mr. Mohammed Abdel Ghaffar, President of the African Economic Council, many thanks, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, with this we wrap up this edition of Africa Today. Many thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more coming up here on Al TV International.